Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Talon Talk. My name is Cloudy, and we are here this week with a bit of a relaxed episode. We're a little late this week, and it's going to be a little bit shorter than usual, just because some scheduling issues. But we are back this week. This week, we have Callum and Boulter here. What's up, guys?
What's up?
Yeah, hi.
So this week, when we look back at week 3, it was a little bit of a predictable week where most of the teams that we thought were going to win and the teams we predicted were going to win all won. So there really wasn't any big upsets or anything. The teams that were higher in the rankings all came out with a win for the most part, and we are going to shorten this episode a little bit and not cover week 3. We are just going to jump into power rankings and jump into predictions so we can at least get you guys a podcast here. And it's going to be totally unedited. So get the raw footage here.
Yeah, so we can basically see anything we want in Cloudy. It's like we say that we're gonna test his commitment to web to go unedited. That's feel like I'm tempted to do.
This is it. This is the episode. All right. Well, yeah. We'll start with some of the news.
Callum smells. Oh, sorry.
There it is. Yep. Okay. Just shout into the mic. That works. All right. Well, before we get too far off the rails, let's go over some news and stuff off the top like we usually do. The biggest news thing I had was the Players' Cup stuff, the 1v1 tournament that is all underway. As you guys have probably seen, some games are being played there. We almost threw all of round 1. Looks like Aftermath, TLM, and Shimada are the teams that are going to come out of round 1. We still have one more match tomorrow between, I think, Darkmount and Ghana Gates, so we will see what happens there. We'll move into round 2 and keep on rolling there. So the only other thing, the major stuff is continuing the move on. We're still working on some of that stuff. Hopefully over the course of this week, we'll be coming out with some more information there. So just know that that's still in the works and moving. That's all the news I got. It wasn't too much to bring up here. Unless you guys got something you want to say.
Nah, I'm good.
Alright.
Boulter smells.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the biggest.
I think it's only fair.
I do smell.
Confirmed. Alright, let's jump into it. And we're going to jump into our power rankings to start off here. Seems to be a good place to start. And as you guys will see, I'll post this whenever I post the episode so you guys can all see. Actually, there was not a lot of movement this week. This is probably the first week, and it's kind of makes sense where we don't see a lot of movement because we're starting to see everything settle and see where teams are at and see who brings what. I mean, really, the only movement this week was due to like the transactions that were made with like Rebels and TLM and stuff like that. There wasn't too much movement based on the games because, like I said, most of the games came out, the way the power rankings saw them to come out. So, go ahead, Callum, you had some? No?
I was gonna say a little bit of movement. You had half a team just blow up this week.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of that, and I mean, there's only 4 teams that moved around here, so I'll just go over them real quick here in case you guys haven't seen them. So Aftermath stays at number 1, and Glass and Foot stays at number 2. Those ones are the same as last week, and
Excuse me, what was the score in the scrim we just had?
scrims are scrims, man. Scrims are scrims. We've been scrimming.
Like, I just want to say, I'm gonna say this like right now is, even though I do think in a head-to-head it'll be a close game, I do think Glass and Foot will most likely win. However, we've said this in previous podcasts is because Aftermath has had the hardest schedule up to now. That's why they put us number 1, because they've had the harder matches, right?
Yeah.
Glass and Foot has had an easier time.
I'll also just say that Glass and Foot, No Banana, Uwu, MOM, they're certified chokers. Every single final.
Certified. It's got the Boulter certificate now. Yeah, so they're gonna stay in 1 and 2 there. Here's where some movement happened here. We got Zen's Garden up to number 3. We got Shimada Samurais up to number 4, and the big surprise of the week is TLM up to number 5. That was one of the biggest movers this week. Of course, we saw them bring on Ginger. We saw them bring on Promi, and uh, those are two transactions that are we're gonna see them have a huge impact on TLM, and it kind of stacks TLM's roster a little bit. I mean, when you look at it, they got Bigfoot now, they got Frums, they got Ginger, they got Promi, and they have another some other great pieces there that if they put it together right, this is a team that can probably challenge for number 1, number 2, number 3 at the end of the season. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say I've noticed that TLM have a very aggressive play style, and now you've got one of the most aggressive main tanks in the league.
Yeah.
In Ginger, I'm thinking him and Fat D with double shield. I don't want to play. We got our match out of the way.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm looking at TLM. TLM are looking super strong right now. They're definitely the underdogs the whole season for me. They could come out of nowhere and do well.
Yeah, and we kind of thought some other teams were going to be those underdogs, but now it seems like they kind of took that spot. I mean, maybe Shimada is probably going to be another one that is an underdog.
Yeah, I was gonna mention hey guys, remember when you all had Shimada the middle pack or below?
We will see, because
and then when they beat the number 2 team,
I still do.
I want to see what comes out of your match versus Valks, and then I want to see going down the line. I mean, you play Aftermath in the last week, so that's going to be a fun one.
Oh, yeah.
But,
hey, Cody, do us a favor and lose one game for us. So, do you remember when we were saying in the beginning of the podcast it would be really cool if the number 1 and 2 spot get decided in that last game? Do you mind just losing one game for us?
We will see. We'll see.
Yeah, I think at the beginning of the season there was a bunch of teams in the middle of the pack. There was 3 or 4 at the top, and then the rest of them kind of in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And at the minute, we're kind of seeing those teams emerge.
Yeah, exactly. Shimada and TLM.
I think TLM's the first one. Shimada, I'm still out.
Yeah. You're not.
All I'm gonna say is, Shimada, we have some incredible. Every role is we have really talented people, and I think we've been the luckiest with free agent pickups throughout the entire season. Shimada is stacked, and I can't wait for people to actually see and realize just how talented the people on my team are.
Yes, we will see. Okay, so let's keep moving on here. So that leaves us in number 6 and 7, where we got Eclipsed at 6 and Valks at 7. Those are two other teams that haven't moved from last week. We'll see how Valks does against Shimada. Maybe they have an opportunity to rise there. The team that has dropped down to 8 is Republic Rebels. We kind of saw them lose a bunch of people this week. Their roster's kind of shaken up. We'll see how they come together through it against Glass and Foot. I mean, we were looking at this matchup as being one of the top matchups because Republic Rebels was right up there with Glass and Foot. Now the rosters have moved around a little bit, so now it's not as great as of a matchup, but I think Republic Rebels still have a few key pieces that they didn't lose, so we will see what happens there. And I think after Glass and Foot, after that match, we'll see if they deserve to be 8 or if they deserve to be higher. So we'll see.
One thing.
Good.
Okay, one thing to say as well is, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe RR have actually guaranteed their spot to be moved on because it's mathematically impossible, even if they go in 4-0 in the rest of the games, for them to drop out to the bottom so they don't make it into playoffs.
Let me take a look here. So we got Glass and Foot and Republic at the top. Yeah, it would seem that way with Darkmount and Guyana only having 1 win. No, I mean not yet. We have 4 games left in the season. If Republic lose all their games and Darkmount and Guyana win all their games, I guess there's an opportunity there. But I would say maybe next week or the week after they would be clinched in the spot there. But it's still definitely not. Yeah. It's not for sure yet. But yeah, so we'll see what happens with them over the next couple weeks and see how they kind of shake out there. Especially with Trill moving over there and taking over that team, see what she can do there. And yeah, So let's move on down the list, and all of these are the same as they were last week, where we have Dark Mount at 9, Guyana Gates at 10, Genjutsu at 11, and SDG at 12. So those were all the same as last week. Not much to recap there. Like I said, there wasn't much movement around in the results this week, so there's not much movement around in the power rankings. So, all right, let's wrap that up there. Anything you guys want to say about the power rankings?
One team in the power ranks I would like to speak.
Go ahead.
Genjutsu, their recent pickup of Judge Belafar, he's a player to keep an eye on.
Okay.
Just a little for whoever's casting the next game. Just
Keep an eye on him.
make sure you have a camera on him because he's a talented player, and I'm a bit pissed off they got him in the FHF and we didn't.
I'm gonna say Glass and Foot second. Come on, man. What have we got to do? Keep 4-0 you.
Not choke.
I don't
Come
know. Aftermath has been number one the whole season, so we'll see. I mean, the first team to lose a map, I guess, right? We'll see.
Okay. All right, that's a deal.
Yeah, deal.
Yo, Boulter, do us a favor. Record your next scrim against Aftermath, and if we see you absolutely destroy him, then we'll consider putting you number one.
Well, good thing nobody recorded the last one, huh?
Yeah, I think we did actually.
Well, it's a script, so
Okay.
that's why it depends.
All right.
All right.
What's up next?
So let's move on to our predictions and our previews for week 4. Yeah, week 4. Actually, there's a lot of exciting matchups this week. Not only is that like Republic Rebels Glass and Foot 1 pretty exciting, I think Valk's Descent against Shimada is going to be exciting. I think Aftermath versus TLM, that's another one that's going to be exciting. Zen's Garden versus Eclipse. These are all teams that are like almost this equal in the power rankings and kind of are closely matched. And I think there's going to be a lot more close matches this week rather than all the 4-0s that we have been seeing over the course of this season. So let's jump into here. And our first matchup we're going to talk about here is going to be Aftermath versus TLM. Where do we want to start here?
I think TLM's pickups of Ginger and Prom are going to be pretty huge this week.
Yeah, that's literally going to be the biggest transaction I think of any team this entire season are those two pickups. I think like TLM already had a good roster, and now they add 2 more like starters, great pieces to their team. I think
They're just good, solid players.
exactly. So, we'll see. I'm obviously biased to Aftermath, but we'll see how Aftermath does. I obviously am gonna have Aftermath winning this one, 3-1. What do you guys think?
We completely agreed with you. Aftermath win 3-1.
Yeah,
I disagree. I think it's going to be 3-2 to Aftermath.
3-2.
I do think it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be close to maps, but I think ultimately it will be a 3-1 victory. I think even though they are really talented, the TLM are going to need a little bit of time to synergize with Ginger and with Promi.
Mhm.
While Aftermath, they have their roster. They've been slaying it all season so far.
I mean,
And I think it is going to be close, but ultimately I think Aftermath kind of have the edge.
my point is that I keep seeing Aftermath in scrims and we keep 4-0ing them, but when it gets sorry, Cloudy, when it gets to the weekend, Aftermath just looks so dominant in every single game they played, and I don't know how they do it. I don't know what Cloudy feeds them on like game days. I don't know what drugs you're giving them, Cloudy, but it seems to be working.
You
so
guys
just like keep it
don't-
up.
You don't want to see the Aftermath team server on game days. That's all I'm gonna say.
I just hear you guys like to meme and scrims.
Yes and no. Depends on the day.
Alright.
But yeah, so
Who we got next?
next we're gonna go on
Moving
to Valk's Descent versus Shimada's. This is gonna be a close one. We are all kind of different here. I can see Valk's winning, and I can also see Shimada's winning. I think it's gonna be a really close fight. Personally, I think Valk's is gonna come out on top though. It's gonna go to a map 5. It's gonna be a 3-2, and it's gonna be a really exciting game. I think.
Yeah. I have exactly the same opinion. I've got a 3-2 to Valks.
All right, can I just have a look at our power rankings we've just done? Shimada number 4, Falks number 7.
Yeah.
It doesn't always matter.
Okay. Let's
We'll
look
see.
at. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know whether it's because you've not seen our games, but I'm gonna be honest. I have more confidence in my roster than I would
Yeah.
do looking at Falk's roster.
Let's take a
I just
look
think
at that.
Valks. It's about time Valks won a game, and I think this could be the one.
Yeah.
I think you
let's
guys just wanted to trigger me, sleeping on SS. To be
That's
completely
all.
honest.
So I think
It might be. Maybe.
we'll see. I think Valks has a few good pieces, some good DPS players. Obviously, you guys have like Kurisu, who's obviously a great DPS player, and
Keep listing off every single DPS player we have, please.
I don't know them all, so
Let me just DM you all our DPS now.
Nah,
Just the entire team roster.
I think the rosters, if you look at them, they're pretty even, but we'll see. We'll see how it comes out this week. Obviously, Lucky's on Valks, so there's that. But yes, we will see how that one comes out. Yeah, uh, we all got our predictions in there, right? Yeah. Okay. Just for the record, Lucky predicted 3-1 Aftermath and 3-1 Valks. So there's that. Let's move on to another one that may be close, a lot closer than I might expect, but it's going to be Zen's Garden versus Eclipsed, and we'll see Eclipsed going up again with Dizzy getting out of the team last week against Zen's Garden, who they're kind of a team that's looking for some redemption as well after maybe not the start they wanted to for the season. But what do you guys think?
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like this is gonna be the make or break game for these two teams. I think if whichever team loses this, will definitely be lower down on the rankings.
Yeah, I mean, it's so weird. You look at Eclipse roster, and it looks so stacked. I mean, you'd think that's a team that would be like contending for like a number one spot, but for some reason they just haven't been able to put together.
What I've noticed about Eclipse, and I can say this, I've played against them, is they have quite a slow play style.
Mhm.
The best comparison in Overwatch League to like play styles I can give them is New York Excelsior. They're quite slow. They think about before they move, and they try to capitalize on enemies' mistakes. But if you don't make those mistakes, they're a little bit fucked.
Mhm.
And I've also heard that some people don't listen to shot calling.
Yeah. So we'll see, and then yeah, I mean, Zen's is one that also has a stacked roster. I mean, both these teams have great rosters, but of course, like the standings don't really show it. I mean, Zen's is number 2 right now. They do have 2 wins, and Eclipse has 2 wins, but oh yeah, okay. I guess we'll see. We'll see which team comes out on top here, and that, like you said, whatever team wins this matchup, I think is going to finish second in the division for sure, because they both have great rosters. So we'll see. Anything you want to say here, Boulter?
Nah, that's about it. I think it's going to be one of the closest games of the week, to be honest.
Yeah.
I can't call this one, but since I have to call it, I've called it 3-1, I think. Even though I said 3-2 for the previous two, I think this is going to be the closest one in terms of maps.
Yeah. I've got 3-2, Eclipse taking it here.
I've agreed with Cloudy completely.
And
Yeah,
too bad
I've gone
Lucky's
for Zen Gardens.
too bad Lucky's not here. He predicted 4-0 Eclipse, but we'll let him have that one.
I'm not gonna lie, if it's actually 4-0 Eclipse, that's the biggest big brain prediction. That's just a Hail Mary. That's him being lower down on the points in a little tally thing, so he's going for a Hail Mary.
Yeah. I think the only way we see a 4-0 is if like Zen's forfeits. Like that's the only way.
You never know, they might just mess up SR calculations.
We will see. Who would ever do that? I don't know.
No idea. Maybe a pig. Maybe someone like Boulter, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Boulter's the type of person to do that.
Alright. Talking to Boulter, let's move on to our next match.
1 + 1 is 3. Is that right?
Yeah. You're on the right track.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah, keep
Just
doing
keep
that.
doing that math.
Yeah. All right. Next match here, we're gonna go into Glass and Foot versus Republic Rebels. Like we said earlier, this is a match that like looked great a couple weeks ago, and now we're seeing it now, and it's kind of one sided for the most part. But we will see. Like I said, we'll see how Republic Rebels do. We'll see if they can come together. But I think all of us have 4-0 to Glass and Foot. Is that right?
Yeah.
I
Oh
think
wait, hold on. This. Yeah, even Lusky's in the 4-0.
Yeah.
all I'm gonna say is this would have been a 4-0 before, and now it's even
Oof.
gonna now it's gonna be a 4-0 even more. So.
That sounds exactly like Callum, like week one, like oh we're gonna 4-0 you, and then they get 4-0'd. That seems like that kind of statement.
Yo,
So-
they forgot a 4-0 because I was a fucking idiot.
So,
Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's
We
all-
took 2 of those maps. We took 2 maps.
I'm not gonna lie though. I'm looking at their roster. I'm in their server, and they are looking pretty strong. Like they have changed, but I don't think they've gone necessarily worse.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like if I had to predict this, like before the team self-exploded, I would still lean towards Glass and Foot winning because if you think about it, they have a twisted scene on for the DPS lineup. Twisted plays the Farah, Junkrat, bit of Sim, and a Soldier. But his comfort picks are the Farah and the Soldier. And if you just got a good Widow or a hit scan player, casual,
Hmm.
you completely take Twisted out the picture.
Yeah. So we'll see there. We'll see how Republic Rebels do this week, and if they can. I think even if they come out with a map win, that's going to be more than what we predict, and that's going to be like a positive for them. If they can somehow like go to map 5, and even if they do lose, I think that's something they could turn into a positive and keep moving on in the season here. Let's keep going here. We have Genjutsu versus Dark Mount. What do you guys think here?
3-1 Dark Mount. And I
Yeah.
can't believe I'm actually predicting Dark Mount to win a game.
Yeah, I have 3-1 Dark Mount as well.
I said
Let's-
4-0 to Dark Mount. Sorry, Genjutsu, but
Yeah, we'll see how Genjutsu does. They're still kind of in the rebuild process. See if they can put things together. Maybe this is a good week to do it, but we'll see there. I don't have too much to talk about for this game unless you guys got something here.
I think you just gotta look at weeks like this as practice and not as a league game. I think you just gotta go into it with a
Yep.
fresh mind and say, okay, we're just gonna try and work on things.
Yeah, exactly. With the season they've had, they just need to find a way to rebuild, and this is a great week to do it. So, and another matchup here that kind of looks the same way is Guyana Gates versus SDG, and SDG, another team that kind of needs to not necessarily rebuild. I don't think they need to rebuild a roster, but they just need to get things back on track. Like they have a similar roster last season. They need to get back to that SDG and keep doing their things there. And then Guyana Gates is a team that's rising. I think they came out with a win last week, or is it the week before?
Nope, they lost a week before.
So the week before they got a win. We're starting to see them maybe turn things around a little bit. I don't think they're gonna jump up to like the top 5, but I think they can get out of the bottom of the rankings and maybe make it into like the mid ranks, and see if they can do it there. As far as predictions go, we got I got GG winning this one 3-2-1. What do you guys got?
4-0.
Yeah.
4-0
And,
GG.
I got 3-1 3-1 to GG, but I think SCG are capable of winning this. Like 100% they are.
Yeah, I think this is one.
I know the work Ross has been doing, and I think this week they could come back
Yeah, that would be.
to a new GG side who are looking like kind of vulnerable, and they're looking inconsistent. So they could come back and win this, but I think that GG will probably take this through and win. But
You've convinced me enough. I'm gonna redo my prediction and say SDG is gonna win because I'd like to see them win. So.
yeah,
I'd love to see SDG win, but the thing you gotta remember with GG is your key to winning is basically shutting down meme. And I
Yeah.
can't remember. No, White one's not on this team. Never mind. Shut down meme. They live and die by how much a meme pops off, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at SG's roster, and I'm like, who's going to be able to like just shut him down completely? And I'm like, I don't see anyone who can.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah. That's last week. That's the last match we had this week. Like I said, short little episode here. Just a quick recap, quick preview. Nothing too crazy here. Just to recap our like predictions rankings that we were doing between myself, Callum, and Lucky. I'm winning. I'm in first place with
Wait, are
21
you
points.
actually? What?
I have 21. You have 20 points, and Lucky has 17 points. He needs a Hail Mary or two to catch up here. We'll see how that goes. Yeah.
I'm also just going to point out that it's Leicester Spurs this weekend, and we're going to dick on Spurs. So, GG.
Oh, man. You
And
can't
me
do
and
me like
Cloudy
that.
are facing each other in fantasy football as well this week.
Mine and Boulter's rivalry is at its peak right now.
But the smack talk is real.
Yes. You guys don't want to see the DMs. You don't want to see them. Trust me.
Hashtag leak DMs. You got Overwatch League with people asking for player contracts to be made public. Make founders DMs public and just see what goes on.
Oh, you don't want to see them.
All right. On that note,
you'll be thinking of me a lot differently.
Yeah. On that note, let's wrap it up here. That's all we had for this week. Let's close it out here. Yeah. That's it. Alright, peace everybody.
Goodbye.
Thanks for listening. See you next
See you,
week.
dudes.
Hopefully it'll definitely be a normal show next week, and we'll get back to our normal stuff there. So, alright.
What the hell are we ever normal?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Alright. Off the rails. Let's go. See you guys.
Right, finally, goodbye this time.
Bye.